Folks, Bob Mannery here. You're listening to A2D Radio, real sports talk radio for the fans, by the fans, no agenda. These guys are the best in the business. Hashtag it. No notes.
Welcome, one and all, to another edition of the Hockey Happy Hour, live from the BMW of Atlantic City Studios here in Mount Ephraim, New Jersey. I am Matt Sitsuti. Yeah. And behind the board, the Dark Wing, Brian Daly.
You know, that's the second week that's how you introduced me.
Well, there's a legitimate reason why I introduced you.
Why?
That way.
What did I ever do to you?
Oh, okay. Well, while you sit there in your delusional fantasy land that you never did anything wrong.
I didn't.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
You know what you did. You know what you did. I don't need to remind you of this. Folks, feel free to let him know because he hasn't a clue right now.
Let me know.
Boo.
Yeah.
Listen,
Hiss.
We take
Anyway.
any comments, questions. Bring them here.
You're damn right we do. Whether you are on Facebook or you are joining us on YouTube,
Yes.
welcome one and all. And we are brought to you by Scanzano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. And you can give them a call at 856-889-3434 or visit them on the web at www.scanzanosports.com.
I always manage to steal it from them.
Well, yeah, because you're
I
ready
think he
for
lets
it.
go.
I do let go, actually.
I think he lets go,
I don't
so-
even hold on to them, so it's whatever. Anyway,
Not to steal your thunder there, Mike, or make you feel bad.
actually,
but,
no, that's exactly what you meant to do. So
It's not the
Right.
first time I stole somebody's
that-
thunder
that
this
is-
week.
That is true. That is true. So with that all being said, the Hockey Happy Hour's title is not incorrect. We are about to review the Philadelphia Flyers 2018 playoff run, and we have a nice little helpful reminder off to the side, by the way, on these new awesome graphics, by the way, that you got going up here on the YouTube. If you're on Facebook Live, you don't see them, but later on in the show, when we're done here and we go to break, feel free to join us on YouTube, and you get to see what the nifty graphics look like.
Very
And
nice.
as it says, we are here to recap the Philadelphia Flyers series. And it was a very interesting series. It started off pretty boring.
Well, I
because
mean, it was
pretty
over
one-sided.
game one, according to Flyers fans. So.
Well, the result was pretty rough to begin with.
It
It was
was.
7-0 crushing.
I mean, I probably would have been very down in the dumps if we lost 7-0 game one,
yes,
too. So.
absolutely.
Don't lie
I don't
about
think there's
that.
anybody in the world who wouldn't be down on the dumps on
Yeah.
their team right there. But with that being said, the following game, the Flyers came back and blew the Penguins out 5-1.
Yes.
And then the Penguins responded by blowing the Flyers out twice in a row in Philadelphia. Then the Flyers responded, and this is why I'm not upset anymore, because that's exactly what I was talking about last week, that fire, that drive, that passion, that fury. And all it took was to go down 3-1. And after that, they came out swinging, because at that moment they realized, all right, if we're going down, their asses are coming with us. Simple as that. And they absolutely went at it. Full force, full drive.
Yeah.
They won 3-2, a gut check win, and they went back to Philly. And man, oh man, even though the Penguins won, that was 1-2 goals away in the Flyers' favor, going the other way, and we would have a Game 7 we'd be
there's no
talking about
doubt.
right now.
I mean, it was just game 6. I was very scared. I mean, right away off my phone, I'm listening to the game. I was at a baby shower, by the way.
Congratulations.
Fun stuff. Just saying.
Hey, well,
You went.
It's
Never
my
mind.
manager. My manager.
I
my
thought
manager.
it was yours.
No.
Okay.
Get the fuck out of here.
What? I was congratulating you,
Yeah, get
Papa
outta here.
Klinkoff over
Get
here.
out of here. But no, I was there. I had the game on my phone. Update instantly, like 2:30 into the game. Just like this game tonight. God damn it! It only took 17 seconds for the Capitals to score, but going back to game 6, yeah, that was
And
horrible.
then it took 2
and it didn't say
periods
the
for the
Penguins'
rest of the
name. I was like,
goals.
shit.
Yeah.
But
Dum, dum,
And
dum.
then it took 2 periods for the rest of the goals to catch up with the
Yes.
rest of the game.
But the thing is, the Flyers came out with fire, as you were saying, in Game 6 in Philly. Of course, they were going to have some kind of swagger. being home, this is do or die for them. Had me going all game. And what I've seen through the series, even within the season, our best period against you guys has always been the second period. And again, it's shown. And the fact that you guys were up 4-2 and then, let up 2 goals at the end of the period, that's when momentum changed a lot.
Yeah.
And then an early goal by Gensel again in the start the third period. It was big momentum change.
That's the one thing. And also, too, as I was reading more into the Flyers seasons in review, one thing that I did forget to bring up that actually was a staggering thing was the Flyers, they did very well on the road this year. They did not do so well at home.
No.
So protecting home turf kind of went backwards
but
this
you know
year.
what, though? What has the series always been between us?
It's been an
always been
away advantage.
Our away games are really our home games.
See, it's weird. It flopped. It
Yeah.
used to be the Flyers and the Devils used to be that way, where when we would go up to either Prudential Center or the then Brendan Byrne Arena, which I don't even think it's called that anymore in East Rutherford, and we would win up there. They would win down in the Spectrum or in the now Wells Fargo Center.
Yeah.
And that's how that would go. It was very strange how that rivalry would work. But ever since you guys opened up Consol Energy Center, which is not even Consol Energy Center anymore.
PPG Paints Arena.
See, I don't call it that because it trips my tongue up. I'm just going to keep calling it Consol Energy Center. Even back
I want
then,
to.
Yeah.
I remember at the beginning of the season, I'm like, wow, they changed the name. That's already?
I'm looking at some of these comments on Facebook Live. Ugh, we're getting a lot of Penguins fans. Ugh.
Oh,
bleh.
I mean, what can I say?
Well, when they being
and
the
how do you think I
Hey,
felt
welcome.
that night
Hey,
when California?
Hey,
won it?
listen.
Hey,
Welcome, Penguins fans.
welcome,
Of
but
course.
you know what? I'm going to have to do it. This is what they do to the Dallas Cowboys fans. I'm going to have to say the cockroaches are about to come on out right now. Because guess what?
They're drafting now.
They won a series. Yeah, and the Dallas Cowboys are drafting, by the way.
We're gonna find out the newest
currently.
criminal from the NFL.
Someone
we'll see.
What college kid has been in jail?
Which college kid? Which?
Yeah,
I don't know, but we're about to find out.
pretty much.
Well,
That's a
hey, at least they.
I feel bad for anybody that has to wind up going to Dallas.
Hey,
Yes.
You know what, though? I do give credit. At least they don't have to hire scouts. The newspapers and the outlets in the world,
Bill
they always
Cosby.
bring up all of those.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, and he's going
That's
to
a
jail,
terrible
too,
joke.
by
I'm
the
sorry.
way.
I'm
Yeah.
going to put myself in timeout for that one.
Yeah, please do so.
Since Brian, since you brought up some comments, why don't you read some off since we got a lot of them flowing in?
Yes,
a lot of
we
them flowing in.
do.
We got your dad chiming in saying Penguins.
Woo!
David Raska, our favorite.
Yes, we are. Favorite.
Well, one of our favorite Ducks fans.
Definitely one of our favorite Ducks fans.
Usually on the
I-
tube. With
usually-
us on Facebook today.
No, he's
Usually-
on the
I love
tube.
that he's on
He-
Facebook today.
Yeah.
He's on Facebook and the Tube, by the way.
Yeah, Dave.
He's double
Double
dipping.
dip. I'm so shocked that the Pens beat Washington down 2-0 with a 3-2 in a third comeback.
That was crazy because the third period started, too. Literally started. And Ovechkin on a
Ovechkin, yeah.
2-on-1 just said, okay, I'm going to spread my cheeks and shit all over the Penguins right now. And he absolutely fucking did with that goal he scored. And then the Penguins just, with 2 minutes apart, they tied the game up. I'm like, that's the shit they would do to us. What the fuck? Seriously.
That sounds about right. Leon Naska chiming in with too many odd man chances but stayed out of the penalty box. That's something you have to do against the Washington Capitals because Ovechkin from that top circle will hurt you.
Just one timer. And in fact, he actually missed, as I was talking to Maddie before the show started, about how bad of a shot he took. I mean, they could have went up early 2-0 with, 6 minutes into the game. And, Murray way out of position, way up in his crease. On the other side, pass right over to Ovechkin. He shanked it top. Right over to – actually, it wasn't even over. It was wide. And it was – he went right down on his knees and was like he knew right there he messed up.
Yep, he likes being on his knees. But anyway, Tom Arnaud chiming in, what's up, family? Yeah,
What's
well, you know.
up?
Dude.
Don't do that.
No.
No.
Okay, go sit in the corner.
Leon
Sorry.
chiming back in with, I need another fat tire. I'm not quite sure what that means. Fill me in, Leon, on what that means.
It's a drink.
Is it?
I'm pretty sure.
Well, either way, fill me in on what that is, and maybe if it's a drink, I'll make one when I get home. Randy Carr's chiming in, woohoo. And we got your dad chiming back in, Mikey, with hanging with T and Jess, go Penguins.
Woo.
Randy chiming back in with Penguins had a horrible road record. Leon coming back with, who cares about the National Felon League? As much as it is, I mean, I kind of do.
Here we go. The new felon is
Who the heck is behind him?
I'm guessing some all high school players. Ah, that's the guy I wanted.
Leighton Vander Esch.
Yeah, Boise State. Kid's fast.
Vander Esch? That sounds like
Yeah.
a hockey name. You shouldn't even be playing football.
Yeah.
Sounds like a rich guy's name.
Well, he is now. He's a first-round pick, so.
Oh, okay. So Dean Senzi chiming in with what a save by Martin Jones. Yeah, we're watching the draft there, brother.
No, well,
I mean,
listen-
But definitely keep us updated with the
Hey,
game.
I can
Hey.
put the game on if you guys want me to.
Well, we'll do it after what
Hey,
you
listen.
want to do with the Pittsburgh pick.
Well,
we'll
the
go
Steelers
to
don't
it
pick
then.
for
It's a
another-
Pacific Division. I really could give a shit about this series.
I know, but it's
Well,
it's still,
I can honestly understand why you would only give no shits about that series.
Leon and Randy informing me that a Fat Tire is a Belgian beer.
Interesting.
I'm gonna definitely have to I'm gonna have to try that.
Yeah, me too. That sounds very intriguing, actually. Have
Mike-
you tried that before, Mike?
no, I haven't actually.
Oh, I
I've
forgot
seen
you're
it.
21.
Oh, yeah, about to be 23 actually.
Yeah. Shame on me.
He didn't even realize how old Mikey was.
Leon chiming back in with, do you think Ovi can wait to play the Pens?
I mean, as history shows it, I think he hates to play the Pens.
I
So-
think this
I think
game
he does
tonight
too.
does too, quite frankly. I
Yeah.
mean, let me just say this right now. Any Penguins fan out there that is dreading this series should not be dreading this series. I'm just
I am.
saying.
It's
no,
still- it's
no,
still a
no,
series.
you
I don't-
absolutely shouldn't. No.
Matty,
No, hold on.
No.
Real quick. It's a different series than it has
is.
been. And here's the reason why. Capitals are usually coming in as a President's Trophy winner,
Which they're not.
which they're not, which could completely turn this series around. And quite frankly, Washington could probably finally get past the second round with Alex Ovechkin.
Yes, and it's also a different series in the fact that both teams lost a lot of players this offseason and are just dynamically different. And, you know, defensively, Capitals lost. Obviously, Penguins defensively lost a lot of players. Oh, shit. Steelers have traded Martavius Bryant to the Raiders for a third-round pick. To my Steeler, oh, there it is right there. To my Steeler fans out there watching,
Dean,
I can tell you we're going with the wide receiver in the second round, and that's all,
All right,
that says for
all right. Back to hockey.
let's do what Dean says here. And this is supposed to be hockey hour, not garbage NFL draft.
Thank you for
Yeah,
steering
it's
I'm with
because
you,
he's a
Dean.
clear.
Patriots fan. He's a little salty.
I don't blame him for being salty. I actually got into it with some Patriots fan, but that's not hockey
That's
related.
for another story.
Michael Chromiak, my man Chrome.
Hey, Chrome.
Although he had some comments that I wasn't too fond about.
Well, about the Ducks?
No, about the Flyers. I don't know that I can see the Flyers improving in the standings without a goaltending situation being squared away. The countdown to Carter Hart is on. The countdown to Carter Hart was on when he was drafted.
No, see, here's the thing, though. He has a point because, unfortunately, the goaltending carousel bullshit does hurt the Flyers in the long run because if you don't know who your guy is, it does breed a bit of no confidence. And then also on the top of that, our defense is still very young, and 90% of them were playing in their first playoff series, and that definitely showed.
And you're also going to see some more young defensemen come up next year.
Yeah, so it is a bit of an issue, and that does need to be addressed. However, if, unfortunately, we're going to have to depend on Brian Elliott during the duration of his contract because we
One more year.
One more year. But at the same time, though, if he can stay healthy, that would be helpful. If not, what I say is our goaltending tandem next year should be, in my opinion, Peter Mrazek, Brian Elliott. I would say Michael Neuwirth, yes, he did show somewhat of a strong
Played
showing.
very good game 5.
He did, and I'm not taking that away from him, but he gets hurt all the time. I don't want him on the team anymore. It's just like, dude, you are more of a detriment when you aren't even playing because you get hurt when you're not playing, and you get hurt when you're playing. So what's the point of even dealing with your bullshit? I'm sorry. He's got to go. He's got to go.
Is Andrew McDonald a Flyer next year?
Yes.
Unfortunately.
His contract, listen,
Contract's too
his
much
contract
to move.
is too much to move for
it's
his
too
ability.
much right now. We got to wait
wow.
like a couple more years before that shit really starts to become movable because no one's going to bite on it. He doesn't play well enough to where someone's going to bite unless they absolutely need some defensive help come playoff time or trade deadline time. And right now, we haven't found the perfect person to, we haven't found the sucker yet to take him off our hands. Maybe we'll
I don't think
find him
there's
next
going to be
year.
a sucker, to be
Maybe.
honest with you.
Hold on. Give me some hope. Maybe the Arizona Coyotes want to take another contract from us. Maybe.
Hey, I mean,
I'm hoping.
let's
I'm hoping.
Let's be real here, because Ron Hextall's traded off 2 contracts that were deemed unmovable.
And he did.
And he did move them. One went to Columbus and one went to Arizona.
Yep.
So Scott Hartnell and Chris Pronger.
So you know what? At the end of the day, hey, maybe a miracle will present itself, and maybe Andrew McDonald, hey, maybe he'll go to the Penguins and we'll get Brian Rust or somebody in return. I'll take that any day of the week. You know?
I mean, with the way our defense is playing,
Brian Rust in
maybe.
Pittsburgh, yeah, he's a first-line winger.
You're not getting
but
Brian Rust
he's not
for
going to be
McDonald.
any more on the Flyers than a third line winger.
Yeah, but
only because you have Konechny, you're going to have Morgan Frost. You still have Voracek. You have Drew that can play on the wing now and shows that maybe being on the wing is where he should be. And
possibly
Couturier can still play the wing. I mean,
no, you know, I was just joking around. But
no, I know.
But
I mean, I like the idea of the move because Brian Rust is a pretty good player.
yeah.
But you bring him into the Philadelphia Flyers, I just don't think it's going to, especially even unless they get rid of Simmons or somebody. I don't see him being more than a third-line winger.
Well, yeah, think about who he's working with
By the
now,
way,
too.
somebody had
Right.
said, and I don't know who it was, but someone had said Simmons had a good series. I'm like, what? What the fuck were you watching? Simmons had a terrible series. He got put in the box 50 fucking times. He cost the Flyers multiple opportunities to be up a man. I'm like, what fucking series were you watching, dude? I mean, Voracek disappeared, and so did Giroux. By the way, that can't happen anymore. That has to get fixed. Now, Giroux did show something in Game 5 by finally scoring a fucking goal, but that needs to get addressed moving forward. You had a great season. Please do something in the postseason. I know you were facing the defending champs, but please do this. Fix that shit. Make something happen in the postseason just as much as you do during the regular season. We need that. We need that from our captain, especially on a young team.
Agreed. Moving on.
All right.
Adrian Barrett. No, equal at best. I don't see us finishing ahead of either Pittsburgh or Washington, and Columbus and New Jersey both only finished 1 point behind us.
So you're pretty much saying that we're going to either be third place or a wild card.
I think she's saying they're going to be third place.
Third place. Okay. I mean,
Wow.
at this point though, no. Here's the thing.
For those of you not watching the Vegas Golden Knights game, apparently they're up 3-0 in the span of
I feel like I need to put on
5
the game.
seconds. Yeah, do
Yeah,
it.
go ahead. Put that game
you
on.
roll.
Yeah, put it on. Put it on. You know what the big issue is, and I think that the major problem is that San Jose sweeping the Ducks hurt them a lot more, and because the sweep was not as, no offense, it was not as competitive as the
So much offense taken. No, I'm just kidding.
as the Kings and the Knights series was, because that series, at least in my opinion, that was an indoctrination for the Knights, and even though it was a sweep, the Kings only lost by 1 goal in every game.
No, I mean, I agree. I get it.
mean, it was a hell of a series, too. Despite, low-scoring games, great defense, great goaltending both ways.
And I think that's what's going to whip this Knights team into shape, and I think what's going to hurt the Sharks in the long run is they had kind of a breezy first round, and now they're going into the second round, and they're facing a Knights team that's basically coming in with the fire, and they're like, oh, shit, we're not used to this, at least not this year. So that might kill the Sharks.
Jim Kildrest, Kilchrist. Dude, I'm sorry if I said your name wrong. Pens won, no change, and he's laughing at us. Well, maybe not at us, but with us.
Laughing at
We'll say us. Greg Malakovic chiming in with, I'd like to hope they improve and have I can't read today. Have to think they will grow oh my God, I'm terrible at reading today.
You want me?
Have to
do you
think
want
they
Mikey
will
to
as
take
the kids continue to grow. Have a good show, boys. Thanks, Greg.
Thanks,
up, Greg? All right.
William Segrady chiming in with, and I agree with this one 100%. Get rid of the goons, get some skill players.
Gouda.
Now, here's the problem. Here's the problem with that. The skill players are still in the minors. There's still not open spots. There's going to be some going into camp this year. There's going to be some.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. A lot of players are coming into the last year of their contract. Guys like Filppula is only going to be around for this year coming up, and he'll probably be gone. Actually, come to think about it, I don't know if he has one more year left on his contract. I'll have to take a look at that. But
Yeah,
still,
take a
Who was it?
Filppula.
Filppula, I think he's a free agent.
So he probably.
I think you might want to check it.
I'll check it, but you know what? If he is, then quite frankly, no offense to Filppula, because he did actually play well in the series, but he should be gone. Only to make a spot for a young guy. No offense to him, but he is an old guy, and he does need to,
I want your bottom there.
No, I'm good. I'm good over here.
No, you're
Apparently, Mike wants Brian's bottom. So, you know.
I don't want his
Ho,
bottom.
ho, ho.
Take
I
that.
want him in the picture. Is what I want.
Well, you
I
said you
I
want
want
his
us to be
bottom
a
here.
big happy family
hey,
sitting on the big
it's
comfy
a good
couch.
thing.
You're a
okay?
big happy family.
But you're far away.
I'm not that far away.
I know, but I don't like it. I like seeing your face on the camera too.
I'm doing the world.
Get over here,
Listen, I'm
damn
doing the
it.
world a favor.
I know you are. But no, actually, no, you're not.
I know you're doing the world a favor. Oh, my God.
All right, so we're going to go back to the
Mike-
comments here.
Mikey just inadvertently burnt Brian right here, right now.
Chrome chiming back in here with good decisions not bringing back Reed, Manning, and Oduya. Gudis and McDonald need to follow right behind them.
Yes.
Is that official that Matt Reed is not coming back, that Brandon Reed is not coming back, that Johnny Oduya is not coming back?
Well, I mean, Johnny Oduya really, he should go because he did nothing because he was
didn't-
never on the
yeah,
team.
He didn't.
He got
He
cleaned
didn't.
and then did nothing.
And then on top of that, Matt Reed has been needing to go for the better part of 3 seasons.
Agreed.
So,
And as far as Gudis and McDonald go, Chrome, it'll be tough to move them with the contracts they have.
no, it's right, though. It is going to be tough to move them. Again, Andrew McDonald, sadly, we're probably going to have to wait, I think, another year or two before we really can take him off and actually offload him because I think he'll only have maybe a year or two left on his contract by then. Unfortunately, he still has a little bit of length, and I don't think too many teams are going to want to take that. And we don't have a buyout available, so we can't eat the money and send his ass packing. So we're going to have to grit down and just take it for the next few years with that piece of shit on the team. It sucks, but I'm going to have to deal with it.
All right, we got a couple football comments in here that I'm going to just
Okay.
Hey,
Go through
listen,
real
we
quick.
did a whole half hour of fucking wrestling one day. So the couple of comments of football.
Hey,
let
listen,
me
I'm,
be-
I'm reading
hey,
them. I'm
don't
reading
make
them.
me do it.
Hey, to be
Don't
fair,
make me do it.
To be fair,
We gotta-
though, that was before we had a wrestling show here on the station, which,
No, it
by the way,
wasn't.
you can catch before Hockey Happy Hour on a regular Thursday. It was just different today.
Shameless plug.
Because
John
of why?
Allen. John
Bang,
Allen. John Allen chiming in. EAGLES, baby. And then we have your father once again chiming in. I love that your dad listens to the show. I love it.
That's awesome.
Bryant traded to the Raiders for a 3rd-round pick, which we announced earlier.
Yes. Yep.
Chrome chiming in with the bullshit Broad Street Bullies is over. It's a different game. Couldn't agree more.
I agree.
Jim Kilgrice coming in with they need a big-time goalie. Never going to win a cup without one. They have one. Unfortunately, we're waiting for both of them to come up.
Yeah, I mean, give it time, though. That's the thing. We can be so down. Let's take some positives out of this series. First off, the team being so young and getting completely caught flat-footed in this series responded well in Game 2, got absolutely butt-fucked in Games 3 and 4. They came back to Pittsburgh with everything on the line. They had everything to lose. But man, oh man, did they come back and they put it right up the Hershey Highway to the Pittsburgh Penguins, winning 3-2. And then after that, they lost Game 6, but it was a very competitive Game 6, and they showed a lot of development. And they had to develop and learn on the job. They had a baptism by fire. Let's just name off the guys playing in their first playoff series. Travis Konechny, because he started last year and they didn't make the playoffs. Who else? Provorov, he wasn't in the playoff series 2 years ago. Hagelin, Robert Hag, not Hagelin. I wish we had Hagelin. We don't. Which we injured, by the way, which I'm very happy to say.
Which was a great, great hit, by the way.
Yes, it was.
Wow.
What? I had to get a dig into you at some point in this goddamn show. Christ. It's already bad at, hey, let me have something, goddammit. You fucking beat us. Christ.
Yeah, but we left the series having two main components of our team.
You still beat the Caps, so don't
It doesn't
bitch.
matter. It's game 1.
Don't bitch. You
We're
still beat
missing
the
players.
It doesn't matter. They had a 1-0 lead on you through the entire game, and then they went 2 up, and then after that you put a 2 spot on them, and then 1 minute or 5 minutes later you got another goal. So stop complaining. Seriously.
All right,
Stop your
win
bitching.
to win, I'll be happy tonight. But
God.
when the sun comes up tomorrow, it'll be another day.
Leon, Naska, Dean Senzi, Timothy Stow, David Roska, all letting us know that the Vegas Knights have scored,
Are
keeping
winning.
us updated. So thanks for that, fellas. Keep them coming. Tom Smith chiming in. I don't think Simmons wants to be here. I don't agree with that at all.
No, I wouldn't say that. I think Simmons likes
He
being
loves
a
this city.
Flyer. Yeah, he loves being a Philadelphia Flyer.
I don't think he was healthy. That's his problem. And then he goes on to say, we need an enforcer to protect these young guys.
Well, here's the thing. There's two kinds of enforcers. There's the kind that can play well and not get in trouble. And then there's those who have a reputation, and those who have a reputation are going to get penalized all the fucking time for every little tiny indiscretion. Like Agudas gets penalized for every tiny indiscretion, even when he doesn't commit a penalty. We saw that this season. We saw it last season. As it pertains to us, we can have a guy who can be tough but play very good defense. And I think we all know who I'm talking about right now. Sam Moran. We bring him up. He can be a guy, and he's young, but he's the kind of guy who could say, oh, okay, so you want to lean in on Konechny? Well, I'll lean in on you next time when I hit you in the boards. Simple as that. Something like that will send a little message to the team to say, okay, don't fuck around or shit's going to happen, you know?
Well, here's my thing to that comment. And, Tom, thanks for chiming in, bud. Continue chiming in. The enforcer trade is done. It's dead. It's not that game anymore. It's a game that's about speed. Look at the teams that are winning.
Well, more the reason why I feel that the Penguins got rid of Ryan Reeves,
because of that. Yeah, because he was basically a grinder, through and through.
These superstars, that are in the league now, they don't really need to be. They just doesn't need to be the enforcer anymore because there's no one really gunning for him that's gonna go out there and try and pick a fight or hit him high, and there are players out there that will do that aren't enforcers, but the enforcer position it's dead. The game is changing. It's a speed game.
Oh, there's no doubt.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Look at the teams that have won the Stanley Cup. No enforcers, just pure speed.
It is. Yeah.
No, but that's the thing, though. And that's what I mean by Sam Moran. He can play solid defense, and at the same time, he can throw in that big hit that you need to in case you need to send a message to somebody. You could still have skill, but if you have enough talent and you got enough body that you could throw it around and you're not afraid to, like the Ducks. Ducks have plenty of talent, but they're not afraid to throw the body around. If someone wants to go body to body, they will go body to body. They will sure as fuck
Perfect example is Ryan Getzlaf. Ryan Getzlaf is a banger. He really is. But he's also going to go out there and he's going to take smart penalties if he needs to. He like every other player in the league takes stupid penalties once in a while.
Of course,
but here's the thing. Yeah. He'll give you 65, 70, 75, 80 points a season.
Yes. Consistent.
Has he been scoring goals? No. He's been setting people up.
Yeah.
But he gets his name on the score sheet.
4-0. Oh, my Lord.
Damn, this Knights team is just
talk about the score sheet. Jesus Christ, you said that at a perfect time.
I know, seriously.
They are just torching
I'm the king of segues.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm sure Brian he's just got a shit-eating grin right now because he's just loved
Never
watching
even heard of this guy
game.
prior to this season.
Dean Jones agrees with you a little bit there, Maddie. He goes to say we need bigger bodies on defense, which I agree.
We do. We need some bigger bodies. We weren't winning puck battles when we needed to win them. When we did win them, we didn't really do much with the puck either, and that's just a lack of being able to pick your spot and know what to do when it comes time for transition play.
Agreed.
That needs to be fixed big time because that was a lot of sloppiness there. That was really bad. I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt and say that, again, it was the youth in their very first playoff series and the Penguins having the second gear because they've won 2 Stanley Cups. Some teams have it, and it comes with playoff experience. It comes with being in tough Game 7 series, which the Penguins have been in. The Flyers have not been in one of those yet. It's going to come with time. You get that second gear. You can turn it on. You can play very good playoff hockey. For some teams, there's no excuse to be beaten like they were. For the Flyers, there is one little excuse, and that is a lot of inexperience that they are starting to figure out now. It's good. We got a taste. We can fix our play. I'm going to say that sloppy transition game was because we are very young. We are still learning. We are still maturing. Again, let's pull the positive out, though, and show we did have some resilience at the end of that series.
Perry plays because Penguins are coming in hot. Bigger bodies, read that one. Chrome, chiming in back, says, and we have confirmation on 2 things. We have confirmation that the report today said that they were not being brought back by Chrome. And then Adrian chiming back in, confirming that Filppula is a free agent.
All right, good. So guys like Filppula can go. Again, no offense to Filppula. He did play well in the series, but he's a veteran, and he's older, and he's just like, you know what, we're trying to get younger. Sorry, Phil, you got to go. On top of that, Matt Reed, please go. I will buy you your plane ticket. I will, and that's not cheap for me. I will buy you your fucking plane ticket to wherever the fuck you will go, possibly to fucking AHL permanently. Anyway.
All right, so moving on here, we got Dean Jones chiming in. He says a couple things here, so we're going to run through these. The star will be rising, and I think he means Nolan Patrick,
Yes.
who played, who, believe it or not, like,
he
despite
had
what
a
other
good
people are saying,
series. He had a good series.
not even the series. He had a good season for a rookie, being
Yeah.
what, 19 years old,
Yeah.
coming right out of the draft, being fed right to the Wolves. I thought he had a great year.
Oh, yeah.
Flyers were boys playing against men. I agree with that. All coming from Dean. Hi, Aunt Barb.
Hi, Aunt Barbara.
Hi.
A couple comments here on, looks like the Knights game. Dean Senzi's saying agreed. Hashtag lazy goalie style.
Yeah, you got to read the comment before that.
He said agreed.
No,
Oh,
he said
did
our-
Gene with
goes-
you and Net.
Yeah, he was like, Mikey, our street hockey crew could do better. And I said, yeah, with me and Net.
I didn't get that one.
And that's where he came in with the lazy goalie, because every once in a while when it gets to be like 95 degrees in the summer, I just
I hate
lay
my
down.
Facebook. My Facebook didn't show me that comment.
You
Ah.
try to channel your inner Marty Brodeur.
Yeah, I just lay down and just like stick the leg up. It's too hot.
I don't feel like getting up.
It's too hot.
Dean Jones, Vegas Golden Knights had an awesome pregame show. Vegas, baby. Dean, are you a Knights fan at all?
I mean, if you are, welcome.
I mean,
we
I
accept
support-
all kinds.
Hey,
I support
listen,
the
we
Knights.
do.
Half the Penguins are on that goddamn team.
True. Chrome chiming in. He said, to clarify, Hexall himself addressing the media, I think that was earlier today, said clearly Manning, Oduya, Reed will not return. Filppula is being considered for a new deal.
I mean,
And a great question by Tom Smith. Do you think they're going to buy Laterra out?
well, see, here's the
This is-
thing. Again, we don't really have a buyout available to us because we used our two. We used
Bingo.
them. We had to buy out Brizgalov because we were fucking idiots when we traded away. Fuck. Sorry. Give me a minute. I gotta process that again. Damn it. Hate getting
They bought out Brizgalov, and they bought out
Damn it. They also bought out, I believe they bought out Danny. I think they bought out Danny B because I think they had a longer contract on him.
yes, it was
And-
Danny Briere. I
yeah.
wasn't sure about that.
It was Danny B because they had a longer contract for him, but they weren't too thrilled with the production.
Dean, you and so many other people, brother, says that I am now that the Flyers are out. But as far as Laterra goes, yeah, we don't have a buyout. I'm not quite sure what his contract is off the top of my head. I think he might have one more
Here,
year.
I'll look that up. Hold on a
Yeah,
second.
while you do that, I'll finish my point. I mean, Laterra, he's nothing more than a fourth line center. He can win you some faceoffs. That's about all he's gonna do. He's pretty solid on the penalty kill. He's not bad guy to have, and I mean, he's making what, 4.2 mil in his cap hit.
Never even heard of the guy.
He's not a bad player.
Let me see here. He signed a 3-year deal, and he played one of those years in St. Louis, and we got him this year. So he will have one more year in a Flyers jersey.
Okay, so I could see him possibly maybe being traded in the draft again.
Possibly.
But if he's not, he's going to be a Flyer for the year.
Yeah.
If either that or
Unless he shocks the world and has a great season and they move him at the deadline.
Possibly, even that, maybe he might get thrown into a deal if the Flyers decide to make an off-season trade to another team. Maybe he gets thrown in there as an extra just to kind of put a spot open for somebody.
Right, and that's kind of what I'm thinking is, you keep Laterra for a little extra seasoning for somebody down in the AHL. Somebody like maybe Pascal Labarge. I don't know how close he is to coming up. I got to look at some of the stats while we're in the offseason and see who's close, who's not close.
Yeah, we'll take a look at those moving forward because the draft will be coming up soon for the NHL, and then we'll pretty much get an idea of where the Flyers are kind of going and where they're leaning towards. Because the Flyers will probably be picking in the, I think either
20s.
20s because we made the playoffs.
Late 20s.
Yeah, so
I'll say 26, 27.
what I would expect to see, and I wouldn't be surprised if
Nah,
it did
maybe before
happen,
that.
though, if the Flyers here's the thing, though. I wouldn't be too surprised if the Flyers decide to try and trade either
Interesting.
up or possibly see if they can orchestrate a deal to move some cap space around, possibly open up a spot for a young guy at the same time trade up in the draft
Yeah.
so that way they can get a higher pick. Because even though the Flyers did do well this year and they did have marked improvement, they did regress in some categories that are not good categories to regress in. So what I would say is that keep your eye on the Flyers. They may not be. They may be very active come draft time to see if they can move up in the draft in the first round picking.
Dean,
Especially if there's a player they like.
Dean, real quick before I read your comment off, what's your source on that? And while he does that, Tom Smith, Tavares or a goaltender? And if you don't mind, I'm going to answer this first.
Sure.
Neither.
So okay.
You have Mrazek for
four
a year.
goaltenders already on the
Right,
team.
you have Mrazek for a year, Neuwirth for a year, and you have
still
Elliott for a year.
Stolars down south too. It's like, come
You
on.
have Stolars too, and then
and Lyon, who actually showed a little bit of something. This
yeah,
year.
that's what I thought. Dean Senzi, that's what I thought. And
What, Bleacher Report?
you don't even need.
24/7
As far as
Sports.
Tavares, yeah. So we don't need a goaltender. We just need a bridge until Carter Hart and Felix Sandstrom are ready, which is going to be very shortly.
Yes.
And then as far as Tavares goes, I don't know how much cap room the Flyers are going to have. They're borderline there now.
Now, we're not going to have the cap room to get a John Tavares unless
And besides, Tavares is probably going to Toronto if he doesn't stay in New York.
probably. 'Cause he's from
Well,
Toronto,
he needs
too.
he
isn't
needs to leave though.
Hold on.
There's no doubt he needs to leave.
Tavares is from the Toronto area, is he not?
Yes.
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
so it's pretty much a foregone conclusion. He's probably going to go to the Toronto Maple Leafs. What team would you rather go to? Would you rather
Toronto.
go to a team that's in your hometown that has a lot of upside, or would you go to a team that does have upside, but they got to make a shit
Has
ton of moves just to get
horrible-
you on the fucking team,
Yeah.
and has been inconsistent? So I would say it's a
Horrible,
safe bet. They're going to Toronto.
attendance.
No source just wanted to see your
yeah,
reaction.
sure, okay.
Thanks, Dean. David Raskin wants to know, who will the Ducks be getting in the offseason?
Nobody.
You keep your dirty mouth shut.
The
Honestly, I don't know. I don't know who's going to be a free agent this year. I know Jonathan
Getzlaf's
Tavares.
going. So's
I mean,
Corey Perry.
Listen, I wouldn't be mad if they did. They need to revamp. They need to revamp the team. I don't know who's going to be a free agent this year outside of Jonathan Tavares. And obviously a couple Flyers here, but
I don't think
there's anybody really of note that's really going to be hitting the market. I'm not sure. I got to see. I got to look at the free agent list. I got to see who's out there.
Yeah. I have to do the same as well.
It's going to be weird because this
There
year
you
I
go.
think the main free agent
19th.
is
Damn,
gonna
I
be
was off.
Tavares on
Yeah,
that one.
that's
but
what I was thinking. Because I mean,
All right, so
16 teams out of the 31.
Before we continue on the
Shut up.
Facebook comments,
saying.
I'll jump into the Facebook comments we got here.
You do.
David Roska said what he said on Facebook, so keep that coming in, David. We love you. And Matthew Silverian saying that no call at the end of the game was a game changer and killed the series for the Flyers, which is true.
What, the one that
The tripping call,
the
I think
trip
he's
that
referring
they
to.
did not-
fucking flew 5 feet in the air?
Yeah, but they didn't call it. It
Well,
was
here's the
still
thing.
obvious.
I watched the replay. He got the puck first before he got Couturier. So that kind of negates the tripping call. You got to touch the
But
puck first.
Here's the thing, though. It's a ticky-tacky situation.
Agreed.
You can call that call, and then, but here's the thing, though. There was another trip that wasn't called on the Flyers. So it's like, in the ref's discretion, he realized, okay, I can't make that call because I didn't make the call earlier.
So you think
So-
it's a makeup call?
No, not a makeup call. I think it's a makeup no call.
Makeup
They
no call.
basically said, listen, I'm not calling it because I realized I didn't call that earlier in the game, which did happen. So it's like, if I call it now, it's going to look like I'm playing favorites.
Fucking Christ. Vegas has more goals in one game against San Jose than the Ducks did the entire goddamn series.
All right, but to be fair,
Son of a bitch.
hey,
Man, look at Fleury.
to be
blooming
fair-
out there right now.
he is flowering
Uh-oh.
right
Evander.
there on the ice.
Uh-oh.
Damn, look at the boards.
Vander Kane, he's already starting shit. That's what he does in every fucking team he's on. But
I
anyway,
hated Vander Kane. Ugh. He had like
God.
17
when,
goals against
when
the Ducks.
they said the Flyers were linked to them, I said, fuck no, I don't want Evander anywhere fucking near this team. Even to this day, after the season we had, I still say Vander Kane would not have done shit for the Flyers except cause fucking problems.
That's what he does.
Absolutely not.
That's what he does.
All right. Now, one other thing, too. He then went on to say, but the truth is you can't blame the Flyers. You can't blame it because the Flyers should have never let those 3 games get that out of hand. No, and you're right. You're absolutely right. The Flyers defense was way too leaky. The goaltending was way too bad. It just was not a good series at the beginning for the Flyers. They only got into the series when it was way too late.
Yeah, and a similar comment coming in on Facebook as well from Dean Jones said that call would have not changed the outcome. They were outmatched.
Yeah, it is true. And that really, people can blame that call they want, but that's kind of like that bitter, like sour grape thing. Like, oh, it's the ref's fault. It's like, no. Really, the Flyers kind of fucked themselves out of that series right after Game 4 because they made it almost virtually impossible for them to take a Game 6 back to Philadelphia with a chance to win. They really did. So, with that being said, moving on. Matt goes on to say, still love the Flyers, but have to concede to the Pens this year. Bravo. And it's true. Unfortunately, the Pens were the better team. That was kind of the situation it was going to be going into this series. The thing was that, was the Flyers going to give them a run for their money? Which they did, which I was happy with. They did after, they took some tough losses. But still, they still gave them a run there at the very end, and I think that's the positive I take out of it.
It's
they
definitely
didn't lay down
a big
and
positive.
die. They didn't lay down and die
It's a young
at
team
all.
going
No.
up against a team that's defending Stanley
Yeah.
Two-time
And
defending Stanley Cup champs.
they got absolutely mauled in 2 straight games, and then they came back in Game 6 in Pittsburgh, and they spat right in the Penguins' face. I'm like, okay, that's fine, but you still got to get a 4th win, and you're not getting it tonight. And they didn't get it that
We're getting
night.
a lot of hate here in Philly.
Hey, listen, I like where Dean Jones is going with this. He said that call would not have changed the fact that they were outmatched.
Yeah,
and I agree with that. But that no call led to 2 goals in the span of what? 45 seconds?
Like that, yeah.
So maybe if they do make that call, they save the 2 goals, and maybe the Flyers extend it to Game 7. But the way that the Penguins were playing, there was no way the Flyers were going to beat them.
No.
See, here's the thing. Again, looking back on it now, it's okay. It sucks. It sucks that we lost. I hate it. I hate that fact that we lost. And the problem of that is that we take it and we bitch about it. We bitch about it to no end. But you know what? You got to take a look back and you got to take a step back and take yourself out of the situation. You got to realize, you know what? This team they worked hard to get here. They barely got in. And then they had to face the Pittsburgh Penguins.
After 2 teams tanked their last game.
Yes.
Yeah, by the way, which we were not originally supposed to face. It was looking like we were going to have to deal with Tampa, which would have been the exact same situation against Pittsburgh. However, we did play a little bit better against Tampa during the regular
it's a
season.
similar foe when you play the
similar,
Penguins.
yeah. And most likely, possibly could be the Eastern Conference Final this year. Again, like it was 2 years ago.
We'll see.
Right.
They got to get through this
But
series
on top
first.
of that, one last thing, too, that was also mentioned, we could have wound up facing the Capitals, which if we had faced the Caps, I would have been so happy because
that would have been a better matchup.
We would have had a
for sure.
better matchup, and we probably would have had a 7-game series.
I
would
think
would we have won? I don't know, but we definitely would have matched up a lot better against the
Yes.
Capitals than we did against Pittsburgh because
Yeah.
even Columbus gave them the biggest run that they could possibly ask for, and then some.
You know what, though? You know what was even a better series than ours, though? Was the Toronto and Boston series.
It
I knew that
became
series.
yeah.
That was crazy. I was watching that game as I was writing my report the other night, and just it was
Game
insane.
7
It
was
just
nuts.
back and forth, and then obviously the third period came and Boston just showed
Oh,
who
absolutely.
they really were in the
Absolutely.
third period.
Yeah, no,
you know?
absolutely. Toronto, this is 2 seasons in a row that they gave a very tough team a run for their money.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah,
They
last-
need-
last
listen,
year,
They, they're there.
They
They're
are.
ready. They're ready to
yeah.
win.
It's just
Oh,
that-
yeah.
They
Oh,
need to take
yeah.
that extra
Christ
step.
almighty, yes.
And you know what that extra step is going to be?
John
Because
Tavares, damn it. No.
right. Well, here's the thing. Your buddy Dean chimes in with Tavares wants to play in Canada. He's already said it. I agree. He does want to play in Canada. I think he wants to play in Toronto.
Which
Why
makes
not?
sense because he's
Why
from
wouldn't
Toronto.
you?
Why exactly? Why
great
wouldn't you have all,
coach.
Mike Babcock is one of my favorite coaches.
He is.
Oh, he's one of
a
the best
great
coaches you could
Great
ask
coach,
for.
good solid defense, good young forwards, a great young forwards.
Imagine Matthews with Tavares.
Don't
That's
want to.
scary. That's scary.
Your first line center is Austin Matthews. Your second line, wait, no.
Well, I
he's a
would say
winger.
yeah.
Your first line is Austin Matthews, freaking Jonathan Tavares, and who else do they have on the first line?
Kadri's a
Just
center, so it's not Kadri. It's
for shits and giggles, let's say JVR.
yeah.
That's a good goddamn
yeah.
first line. That's a scary first line.
That's
is very
that's a pretty damn solid first line right there. And that's
You're
gonna
looking
be
at
tough. Yeah.
potentially
See, here's the thing. If
150 points between the three of them.
If they had a John Tavares in this,
Easy.
see, here's the thing. If they had a John Tavares in this series,
That's
I
low.
guarantee you, they have a John Tavares in this series. I guarantee you, Boston loses.
Oh, yeah.
Because Toronto was rearing back.
They were there.
And they
were there.
right
They were
there.
down 3-1 in the series and then come back.
They
force a
scored
game
first,
7.
by the way, in Game 7.
Right off the start.
Yeah, I mean,
2 minutes into the game
if
start.
they had
Man.
a John Tavares on that top line scoring a clutch motherfucking goal right there on that spot, which he has done for the Islanders on so many occasions, he's the only thing that kept that team relevant.
Playoffs 2 years ago against the
Yep.
Florida Panthers.
Will
Game
help,
7.
help win that series for them. That would have been the defining moment for this team to say, we have fucking arrived. We just took Boston out. Let's see what you got, Tampa. That's pretty much what would have happened right then and there. It didn't happen because they didn't have him, but you know what? They put him on that line. We're looking at a whole different series right there.
Oh, there's no doubt.
David Roska, I agree with you 100%. I don't want Kane either. And Dean, when he says Evander Kane, he's referring to Evander Kane coming to Anaheim, just in case you weren't sure, because your comment seems like maybe he's talking about the Flyers. I don't know. Maybe I'm just misreading it.
No, I was just bringing it up because during the
He
offseason,
didn't want Kane either.
No, I don't want Kane either.
Because what happened was in the offseason, I had saw an article that had been there was links to Buffalo talking to Philadelphia.
I remember that.
And
Yeah, it
one
was
of them
a lot
was,
during the trade deadline.
And there was one thing about Evander Kane, and I was like, no, fucking no, just no. The moment I read it, I don't want that piece of shit anywhere near my fucking team or my locker room. We have a good family vibe going on in that locker room.
Yeah, you don't
Kane
want it
would be
around.
the
He's-
total opposite.
he's a bad
of
locker
that.
room guy.
Yeah.
He's a terrible locker room guy, but you know what? He's a 25 goal scorer.
He is. He
is.
does bring that. He does bring that, but like you guys said, he's a very bad locker room guy.
But you also got to realize, and I'm getting way too excited right now. I can't even talk. With the culture that the Philadelphia Flyers are trying to build and trying to bring, Evander Kane just totally fucking ruins that.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, because he's a cancer. You don't want a cancer in your locker room. Some
Yeah.
teams can feed off of somebody being an asshole for whatever reason. They can do that. That is not the Flyers. That is not the case. It may have worked back in the Legion of Doom era when everybody can have a big fucking ego like Eric Lindros did. And it didn't bother anybody
Yeah.
because they were still making the playoffs every year. They were dominating the division. They were raping the Eastern Conference most of the time. The only team they ever bent the knee to was the fucking Devils. And really, that's the only team that ever could consistently beat them. So really, at the end of the day, that was the only time it ever worked. When it comes to this team, total opposite. You can't do that this time.
That's an interesting comment that I'm going to get to in a second here.
Yeah.
Dean Jones chiming in, and I love this because it's the fucking truth. It's the refs' fault. That's the Philly slogan. That right there, the people that blame the refs are the people that don't understand the game. And
Yeah.
that's the easy thing to look at and point the finger.
It is. It always is.
It's the refs' fault. The refs' fault. He called too
Oh,
many penalties
and-
against the
oh.
Flyers, not enough against the Penguins, blah, blah, blah. Or maybe, dumbass, it's
Be
bad
disciplined.
bad transitioning, not back checking,
Lazy.
not forechecking, not taking good shots, bad line changes, undisciplined, hockey. There's so many other reasons. That's the easy go-to.
And by the way, speaking of easy go-tos, immediately after this series ended, I saw the article again, and I knew it was fucking coming. Should the Flyers fire Dave Haxtell?
No.
No.
Nah, you
We are
can't.
not firing Dave Haxtell. And why not? Because why the fuck would you? What do you fucking gain?
And I said they should have.
You know-
once
2
they
out of
went on
3
that
years
10-game
he's been to the
skid, yeah.
playoffs.
Yeah, like what do you gain off of that? Oh, and by the way, I know immediately what some idiot will immediately throw up there. Oh, well, Elaine Vigneault got fired from the New York Rangers. Like, yes, I know Elaine Vigneault got fired from the New York Rangers, but you're taking a chance. You're basically hinging your bets that the coin's going to flip on the good side and Elaine Vigneault's system would transition well here in Philadelphia. I'm not saying it wouldn't. I'm just saying you're taking a chance here.
Yeah.
Why would you do that with a guy who has basically had a steady set of numbers as our coach?
Here's a good here's a good argument for you. Good point. I shouldn't say argument. It's a good point. In Dave Haxtell's system, this season, the Flyers had their first guy score over 100 points in a season since Eric Lindros in 94-95.
Yes.
That's got to say something.
That does.
Yeah.
I mean, what more do you need to prove that Hack can be a good coach for this team and could be a solid coach in the NHL? He's proving it right now. He's still unproven, really, at the end of the day, because he's only been to the playoffs twice. The Flyers are still a developing team. They haven't gotten there yet. They will be soon, but not there just yet.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, like, I don't understand this concept, and this is one of the things that Chrome said that kind of irked me the other day. He doesn't show any emotion on the bench.
Doesn't have
Who
to.
fucking cares?
He really doesn't have to, and that's one
I
thing.
can tell you, Mike Sullivan does.
The emotion or not, it doesn't matter. The
See,
execution has to be there by the team.
See, another thing I didn't like there either was that somebody had put this in the Flyers fan group, which we always post to, which, hi, guys.
Love you guys.
The one thing I saw was, remember when we had
Yes, you do.
And I remember this comment. Remember when we had a coach and they put Lavi's picture right next to Haxtell, and that is completely unfair. That is absolutely unfair. You want to know why? Because Peter Laviolette has been in the fucking NHL since the early goddamn 2000s.
Yeah.
He's been in this league for so long. By the time he got to the Flyers, he had won a Stanley Cup. He had been coach of 2 teams. It was both the Islanders that actually made the playoffs and gave the Toronto Maple Leafs back then a run for their money, and that was a shitty Islanders team, by the way. On top of that, took the Carolina Hurricanes, which had done squat besides get to the Stanley Cup Finals and lose to the Detroit Red Wings. Took that team with a rookie goalie, by the way, in Cam Ward, and a young captain in Eric Stahl, or actually a young player in Eric Stahl. He wasn't captain yet. Rod Brendamore was, but still took that team and wound up winning a Stanley Cup against a team that, you could say was an 8th seed. But the Oilers were still a pretty fierce team that year for whatever reason. I don't know what the fuck it was, but they were doing good that year.
Here's my problem with the whole fire Hextall. Ron Hextall brought him in specifically to help develop some of the younger players that he's going to be bringing up through camp.
Which he has.
And you got to give him time.
Yes.
A young coach and a young team. The player's going to learn from the coach, and the coach is going to learn from the veterans in the NHL.
No.
Yes. And here's the thing, though.
It's not going to happen overnight.
Yeah.
These guys, like everyone who wants to fire Hacksaw, are people that are impatient. And I get it. You've been waiting since 1975 for a Stanley Cup. I get it. But this is a young retooling team. They're not even in a rebuild. They're retooling now.
And listen.
It's a team that's being built from within, and it's going to take time. The Flyers are getting close. They're so close.
They are.
They are a year ahead of schedule.
And that's the thing, too. Is it's like, look at the team and look at how they improved this year. There were several categories that they improved on. Goal differential. They were in the plus column this year, which they had not been for the last 3 seasons. Actually, 5 seasons, may I add. But they were still making the playoffs, strangely enough. On top of that, they also played very well on the road. They do have to fix their home record, which is fine. You can fix that. But at the same time, too, look at the way the defense played. Yes, there were moments where they made shitty mistakes, terrible plays, sloppy transition. But there were also moments of really great defensive play. Let me bring you back to both Game 2 against the Penguins and Game 5 against the Penguins. Besides a few minor breakdowns here or there that almost the Penguins took advantage of, which shockingly in Game 2 Crosby couldn't take advantage of, the Flyers played very solid defense and gave the Penguins nothing in that game. And that should show you everything you need to right there. Yes, this team is inconsistent, but they are still young. But there are moments where you see what the future holds for this team. It has a bright future ahead of it. To pull the plug on Hackstool now would undo all of that. And that would be a terrible idea.
It would be stupid, and I'm not going to lie. I was one of those guys midway through the season that said, hey, maybe you guys need to look at maybe a possible coaching change. But, with their very big down, they came right back up. After that 10-game losing streak, they won 6 games.
Yeah, and they consistently
very
won.
streaky team that they were this season. So, I mean, just overall, I like you said, he's there to develop these guys, and he knows what their weaknesses are. He knows what they're going to improve on. You got to keep them there at this point. I don't think you go and fire.
Listen, I realize this is a hockey show, and I'm going to jump into basketball real quick. Look at what Brett Brown did with the Sixers.
Exactly.
They brought Brett Brown in specifically to develop the young players because he was good at it. And now he's reaping the benefits of, 2 years ago? Not even 2 years ago, being a 10-win team? And they just fucking turned it around just like that?
Yeah.
Come on.
Well,
trust the process.
It's
going
easy
to
when
pay
you
off.
have the
you
first
need to be
pick for 3 years in a row.
well, that doesn't hurt, but even still, you got to trust the process. It's going to happen. It's only a matter of time before it clicks.
And that's the major focus right now is that the Flyers have so much going for them when it comes to the youth and it comes to the talent. Let's be patient. Let's move forward here. We are still a work in progress. We were a work in progress last year. We hadn't even made half the changes we needed to make by last year, and we missed the playoffs because we just struggled offensively. That got nipped in the bud this year because offense – yeah, it had its moments where it disappeared, but after that 10-game losing streak, it picked right the fuck back up, and it never went back down.
Yeah.
And we found secondary scoring again, which we did not have last year. So all I have to say is that what more do you want? Yes, I would like more consistency, but it's a young team. What more can you ask for? They cannot be consistent right out of the gate.
I know what I can ask for.
Very few players are.
Hello, Mandy. I want to jump over to somebody's Facebook comments real quick.
Oh, that's fucking good.
The kids are starting to they're rolling back in here. Matthew McCowan, Matt, Toronto is going to be great. I can't. That's what the comment says, and I read it it's just there's just no other way to say it.
They've built that team around Austin Matthews. That team's going to be kicking ass.
He also goes on to say Pens can use Kane. And also, referring to our cancer comment about Evander Kane, they said Phil was a bad locker room guy, and, well, which is true.
And, yeah, I mean, I've heard things like that, too. But I want to ask him, I was trying to get to that comment a little bit earlier, is where would we stick Kane? That's the problem. I mean, I like where we are offensively right now. I feel that we're pretty deep. We have solid players, solid young players, and still have solid young players to come up yet.
If anything, you guys need defense.
That's what I'm saying, and that's not what we need as a guy like Kane. We need a defenseman, like a solid,
like an Ian Cole,
main number 2 guy. Yes,
like
and
I
miss Ian Cole a lot. I was so upset when we lost him. I mean, he was a key component to our defense.
Well, I mean, look at it this way, too. Some of the goals that the Flyers scored on you guys don't get scored on you if Ian Cole's on that team.
And right now, our number 2 defenseman behind Letang, I would say, is Justin Schultz. And then, I mean, our defense is solid, but it's not that, oh, shit, we have to play the Penguins' defense. It's the Penguins' defense.
Yeah, because, I mean, the Penguins' defense.
They can get scored on.
And the series against the Flyers really didn't show it as much as it could have. That defense is not as solid as it used to be. And the biggest issue that does come into play is this game against the Capitals. They went down 2-0. And yes, the offense responded because that's what the offense does. But that's the thing, though. If you had a more solid defense, you don't go down 2-0 ever. Like, that's the point. Don't get me wrong. Will the Capitals score on you? Of course they will because they have the talent to score on you. But at the same time, though, the goals they scored on them were because of breakdowns.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the thing. You don't have as many breakdowns if you have a solid defense.
As soon as the game started, they go on a 2-on-1.
And that's exactly that is very familiar.
Here's
I know
the difference maker in the game. Matt Murray, 32 saves tonight.
Yeah.
You know, and we only forced 24 shots on net, which, you know, there's been something very weird with the goaltending this year with Holtby. I mean, Holtby has not been consistent this year.
No.
And I think it goes along with the defense. And that's why Matt Murray's also hasn't been as consistent either. You know, like I said before earlier in the show, is that both the Penguins and the Capitals lost a lot of defensive players this year. You know, so, I mean, you got to look at it that way. I mean, they lost Shattenkirk, they lost Alsner. I mean, they lost a couple players, so.
They did.
Same goes for the Penguins.
They lost guys too, and that's why it's kind of funny because you have basically 2 of the same teams facing each other.
Yeah.
Where the defense lost a lot of guys, the offense really didn't lose anything, and your goaltending is the same as it was last year. However, it's kind of suffering a little bit because I believe injuries. For one thing, Holtby had an injury going into the playoffs. And then, not going in.
Matt Murray had
but
the concussion, too, in the season.
Yes, Matt Murray also had an injury as well. So you take injuries on that equation. I think that's half the reason why the goaltending has been shaky in a lot of ways, which means that we're in for a high-scoring series between both the Capitals and the Penguins.
As it seems to always be.
As it seems to be, yeah.
That's for sure.
Real question is who's going to take the 3-1 advantage because it usually happens that way. But anyway, what were you going to say, Brian?
So, I mean, real quick, I know we're getting up against it. We're getting ready to go
we
on
are.
break, and I want to get to some of these comments, especially I'm seeing some new names in here that I want to especially get to.
All right.
Like Carey Price.
What?
Carey Price.
Carey Price?
Like
Carey's
D-
Carey
D-
Price. Carey Price. Carey's name is spelled different.
Oh,
okay.
I got excited too.
Well,
Come on!
Either way, man.
Also-
I'm sorry your team didn't make the playoffs this year.
Carey is saying go Predators.
Oh, so he's
Who
a
the
Predators
fuck is
fan.
this guy?
Rudolph. We got Matt McCowan going yawn. Dean Jones saying good call. Definitely not the coach's fault. The young players are playing really well. And this is another one I'm going to get to. Hey, Mandy, how you doing?
Ooh.
Mandy Sweets. I'm not a fan of your comment, but hey, how you doing? Nashville Predators all the way, baby.
Wow.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay,
I'll
so
let that one pass.
We got to get a scale of what teams Brian hates the most.
Oh,
ours
it's
are
not
more
the team. It's not the
obvious.
team. It's anyway. Dean Jones. Did we ever find out why Wayne Simmons was playing so awful this year? I saw an alleged article. I don't know how true it
about
was.
his
Saying
pelvis.
apparently he like tore his pelvis and fractured his wrist, and he was on his period most of the. I don't know, some stupid shit.
I'm gonna go with that.
I'm gonna
See-
agree that he was injured, but I don't know to what extent.
I will say this, like I said last week. There is a fine line between playing with an edge and playing like a fucking idiot.
Right.
And for whatever reason, Wayne Simmons does not know where that line begins and where it fucking ends. For whatever fucking reason.
And we have a bunch of comments here. I'm just going to run through real quick, referring to your conversation with Maddie, Mikey, about the Penguins.
Yeah.
Matthew McGowan, where Brass is, and obviously he's talking about Derek Brassard.
Yeah.
Carey Price, Crosby ain't winning 3 in a row. I have to agree with him there.
I said it. I was surprised that we were a playoff team this season.
Matthew McGowan, RD is not that bad. I agree. It's not that bad, but it could be better.
It's not. No, I'm not saying it's fucking awful. I'm just saying that it could be better.
Wait, who made that comment about the defense?
Matt.
Okay, he's a Penguins fan.
He's a Penguins fan.
So-
Yeah, but again, though, I'm not saying it's awful. I'm just
Yeah.
saying
No,
definitely
it's
could be
not,
better.
and it's
Yeah.
solid. It's solid and young, but it's not. It doesn't have that. Like I said, it doesn't have that factor of like Letang. Don't get me wrong, he's one of the best defensemen in the league, but he's not that.
He got wrecked.
Yeah, but he's
He
not
always
that.
does.
Yeah,
Have you
he-
ever
he
noticed
does.
that? That poor guy gets the
But
crap kicked out of him.
He's not that defenseman that is going to be like, oh shit, we have to go up against Letang like he's a shutdown defenseman.
Well,
It's not what it is
to be,
anymore.
well, here's the thing though, and to go back when we originally faced you in 2012, the one thing is that it wasn't the defense that killed the Penguins; it was the goaltending that killed the
Oh, yeah.
Penguins. The
Fleury was
defense
inconsistent
the,
beyond
the
belief.
defense did perfectly fine. They did everything they could to make sure that the Flyers weren't beating them.
Yep.
And our defense just sucked, but and that got really proven as the years went on. But still, on top of that, that defense had Matt Niskanen. It had a lot of really solid
Yeah.
defensive players,
No, it
which
did.
the Capitals still have. They still
Yeah.
have Matt Niskanen, so they didn't lose everybody. Oh, but actually, by the way, did Brooks Orpik take an injury? Because he took a nasty shot in that last game against Columbus. I wonder if he played.
No, he did play tonight.
He
I
did
do
play.
remember
Okay,
seeing him.
okay, because I know he took one in the chest.
Yeah,
in
I
that
do
game
remember seeing
7,
him in the game
and
tonight.
when he went down, I was like, ooh, I wouldn't be surprised if Brooks Orpik is out for the rest of the playoffs. That was a nasty shot he'd stopped in Game 7 against Columbus. But anyway, it's weird though.
So real quick, I want to jump to these
Sure.
last couple comments here. Carey Price, why does Crosby fall down and cry if you touch him?
Who is this guy? Who does he like?
Well, we all
Predators.
know why.
Oh,
Matthew McCowan, neither are
Irrelevant.
Flower or who can have a 40-shot shutout. Dean Senzi, Carey, it's a reflex for him.
On to the next
pretty funny.
comment.
It's just some things, man. Dean Jones, it's not just Wayne Simmons. It's hockey culture. That's just what they do. Goes on to say, I agree. It hurts the team more than it helps, and that's just the way it is in hockey when you're injured. I get it. It is, especially come playoff time.
I need a mic mute real quick there, Brian.
And okay, so
Oh, must be
yeah.
Steeler time.
yeah, the Steelers are picking.
And then he goes to say, our money is up front. Matthew McCowan, sorry.
We're on the clock. Put me back on.
I don't want to.
We're on the clock. It's Time to bring out the Shazier jersey. Let's go.
Yeah, so
That's
are
fun.
we. But anyway, with that being said, so my final comment before we go to break, to answer the question once and for all, what is next for the Flyers? More maturation, more development of talent, and hopefully getting rid of some of the fat, bringing in some of the more younger talent, maturing that, and continuing the process, as we like to say here in
Definitely
Philadelphia.
got to trim the fat.
It's a
Yeah.
trend in Philly, the process. Yeah.
Well, hey, that's what you got to do when you weren't following the rules that the NHL had put in place right after the fucking lockout. But anyway, with that being said, we will be back, and when we return, I'm pretty sure the Steelers will probably have made their pick.
They should, yes.
And with that being said, we'll be back to talk more about the NHL playoff picture, and we'll also give our final thoughts. But we've got more of that coming up on the other side. And
Bingo.
please keep the comments rolling in on the YouTube. And thank you all for tuning in on Facebook. However, all good things got to come to an end. We will be dropping the link in the comments for the YouTube that Mikey here will make sure happens.
Okay.
And with that being said, feel free to click on that and continue to watch the show there live. So, that'll do it for this part of the Hockey Happy Hour. Join us for the rest on YouTube if you're on Facebook. If not, stick with us, and we'll be right back after this. Brought to you by Sports Outlet for all your sporting needs, located at 703 Black Horse Pike in Glendora, New Jersey. Give them a call at 856-939-2030 or email them at sportsoutletnj@comcast.net or visit them on the web at www.sportsoutletinc.com. This is the Hockey Happy Hour on HGRadio.com. Do not go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back here on YouTube, and we'll see you all next time on Facebook. A2DRadio.com is sponsored by the Sports Outlet for all your sporting needs. Located at 703 Black Horse Pike in Glendora, New Jersey. Give them a call at 856-939-2030 or email them at sportsoutletnj@comcast.net or visit them on the web at www.sportsoutletinc.com for all your sporting needs. The Sports Outlet.
A2DRadio.com is proudly sponsored by Gibson Mayer LLC Certified Public Accountants. Gibson Mayer, located in Yardley, PA, is a leading accounting and business consulting firm with a proven track record of handling critical issues with expertise across many different industries, including construction, distribution, hospitality, manufacturing, real estate, service trades, merchandising, professional services, and professional athletes. Give them a call at 215-369-3300. That's 215-369-3300. Your initial consultation is always free, and if you tell them that Tom and Mike from AM and the PM sent you, you'll receive 15% off all income tax services completed by February 15th. That's Gibson Mayer LLC Certified Public Accountants, 215-369-3300, or visit them on the web at www.gibsonmayer.com. That's gibsonmayer.com.
Hey, do you need to get your skills in shape? Then contact the Scanzano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. You can give them a call at 856-889-3434 or visit them on the web at www.scanzanosports.com. John Scanzano offers individual, semi-private, and team training lessons in hitting, pitching, catching, outfield, along with turf rentals. The Scanzano Sports Center is equipped with a 31,000 square foot indoor facility, 4 batting cages, and a 4,000 square foot strengthening and conditioning room. So what are you waiting for? Contact the Scanzano Sports Center today.
You're listening to the Hockey Happy Hour, only on A2DRadio.com.
That's right.
Whoops.
Damn right I'm amped. Couldn't wait to get back on here because this is the Hockey Happy Hour on A2DRadio.com. I am Asasudi. All right, I can say it now. This is Mike, the Steeler lover.
Yeah, I don't know what the
Off.
fuck that pick was. Oh my god.
All right. Save your stroke for later.
Oh.
Meanwhile, we got the Darkwing Brian Daly. You still don't know. Anyway, that's
That's fine.
hilarious. That's cool. Anyway, with that being
This
said,
lady's crying. I mean,
that people are crying,
Terrell Edmonds is the new Pittsburgh Steeler.
and
That's a shame.
see, I would,
Lamar Jackson is available.
he's so devastated right now. He's so devastated. Oh come on! It's not like your team got beat by the Flyers in the playoffs.
Never heard.
Yeah, but you know what?
Never heard of this.
The one guy you never heard of winds up being the guy who's gonna.
I hope that's how it goes. I mean,
God, I mean, he's making it seem like his team couldn't even get out of the first fucking round. Jesus Christ. Anyway, all right. So with that being said, welcome back to the Hockey Happy Hour.
Emphasis on hockey.
Yes, emphasis on the hockey, and we'll put some underlines on that, and in bold lettering.
Or you could just look at your YouTube screen. It says the Hockey Happy Hour on
right
there now with our
here
new
at the bottom.
fancy,
what'd you do? with my
fancy. What Crosby jersey?
Yeah,
What are you talking about?
Put it on the goat wall.
Nah, it's not there. I mean, if he was a goat, we would put
I
it
see
there, but you know.
I see it.
What? What are you
know.
You're
talking
not
about?
good at this game.
No, what are you talking about? That's Brian's Ducks jersey.
I don't know what
Didn't
you're
you know
talking about.
that Crosby was always a duck this whole time?
He
was
wishes.
he was another bird this
I don't know
whole
what
time.
you're talking about. I ain't got nothing. See? Look, I'll even stand up.
See?
What are you
See?
gaining weight there, bro?
Yeah, he is.
I'm stuck on the chair.
See, Brian.
I'm still stuck on the chair.
Hey,
See?
hey.
Look.
Listen.
See?
See, he's got nothing underneath the
I got
hoodie.
nothing.
Turn around.
Everything's good.
No.
He's got nothing there either. If you want,
Hey, leave my butt out of this.
it's too late.
Where's
Mikey-
that ass at?
Hey.
See, I told you Mikey wanted his butt. Anyway,
Ooh.
so with that being said,
Got to buy me dinner first, Mikey. I'm not cheap.
oh, at least you have standards. All right, so
Don't let any
welcome
of my
back
friends
with-
hear that. They might say otherwise.
Oh, that's great. All right, I think I get the sponsor out now. With that being said, we are brought to you by Gibson Mayer LLC, your certified public accounts, located at 301 Oxford Valley Road in Yardley, PA. You can give them a call, 215-369-3300. Hey, extensions have been given out, so if you are dumb enough to have waited this long, I would suggest going to Gibson Mayer to get this taken care of, because before you know it, that extension is going to be gone, out of the way, never coming back, and then you're screwed because you never filed your taxes. So
Story of my
please,
life.
be ready, be prepared, and call Gibson Mayer. All right.
I should have done that.
Why? You waited for the extension?
No.
Oh, okay. At least you didn't do that. But you definitely had a hard time with it, didn't you?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Doing taxes is not fun, by the way, folks. For anyone out there who has not done their taxes yet, if you are not old enough to do it yet, it's not something you look forward to. Not at all.
Not at all.
So please, when you're old enough, go to Gibson Mayer. They'll take
Yes,
care
please.
of it. Anyway, so with that being said, as the graphic would tell you here on YouTube, which is nice and fancy, we
You
are going to talk
fancy,
about,
huh?
yeah, all fancy. NHL playoff picture. Mikey is still distraught.
Every year.
Still very
Oh my
distraught right
God.
now.
And yet you keep winning. That's fine, though. Whatever.
All right, so with that being said, we will look at the NHL playoff picture. But before we do, let us dive into the last comments I had here on YouTube. James Abell chimed in, as long as Crosby, Malkin, Kessel, and now Brassard stay together, the Penguins could realistically win 4 or 5 cups in a row. That's a rough thing to try and go for
4 or
there.
5 in a row.
4 or 5 in a row. Whew.
Not in this day and age, bro.
No,
Sorry, man.
No, listen, I know what you're trying to say, but it's impossible to do nowadays. And not now. No. Gone with the days of the Islanders. I don't think that's happening. Anyway, with that being said, he also went on to say Manning, Reed, and Aduya not coming back, which is fine. Matt Reed's been needing to go. Aduya didn't do shit because he was never on the team.
I don't know why they didn't play him in the playoffs. It just
I don't know.
Doesn't make sense when you pick the guy up off of waivers and then he doesn't
Listen,
even
and the
play.
fact that he's been
Listen-
on a Stanley Cup winning team.
Exactly.
All right, well, still, listen, it's not the Chicago Blackhawks. But anyway, listen, at the end of the day, though, it doesn't matter. It's in the past. Not every decision you're going to make is a brilliant decision. Let's just leave it at that. And if this is the worst decision you make as a GM, you're doing fine. Anyway, moving on.
Fair enough.
Manning was fine, but Manning isn't – he's not the direction we're going in. You know,
I do like him. He's a little gritty player.
he is.
Plays with a little bit of a chip on his shoulder. and I like that.
I like that about Manning, and he wasn't the guy to take very unnecessary penalties. But the thing is that, like, again, we are going for another direction. We're trying to stay young. Unfortunately, we can't get rid of McDonald. He would be in that spot if it wasn't for his contract, but unfortunately, it's going to be Manning instead. Hey, listen, I got no hard feelings at Manning. He did good for while he was here. We'll miss him. I got nothing bad to say about Manning. Anyway.
Nothing bad to say about Manning. Reed?
Yeah, Reed, there's a lot
you
to
suck.
say. Yeah, there's a lot of words I can use right now that might actually get us thrown off the air. So I don't think we're going to
So
do
we're
that.
gonna stay away
Yeah,
from
so we're going to
those.
stay away from those that I could say about Matt Reed right now.
Matt Reed, you suck.
That's probably one of the
You
more minor
suck.
things I could say.
You suck.
It's true.
You
It's
suck.
damn true.
Well, here's
Anyway.
the thing. We're going to give him the treatment that the Flyers fans gives to every team that comes through when they get their starting lineup right off. Left winger number 24, Matt Reed. You suck.
Flyers fans say that.
To him, they do.
Yeah,
Even
that's
when
funny.
he's in the starting lineup for the Flyers.
Deservingly so. All right, moving on. Matthew Silverian again chiming in saying, I have no doubt the Flyers could beat the Capitals. Actually, I don't either.
no,
No,
I
that's
agree.
very much a
There's no
possibility.
doubt.
I wish we had drew them, but you know what? It happened. That's why I was saying when we were the first overall wild card, I said, I want the first overall wild card. Fucking Columbus can keep third place in the fucking division. I didn't want no parts of the fucking Penguins. And on top of that, too, the Devils can stay and, suck on shit and deal with the Tampa Bay Lightning for all I care. I don't give a shit about them. And thank God they lost in 5. That's the best silver lining there. To watch them bastards not even make it to 6 games. Beautiful thing. Anyway, on to the final comment. David Roska chiming back in. Mike Babcock is a Ducks legend. I don't think we're doubting that. I think there's no question moving forward.
Nah, he's more of a Red Wing legend.
Well, yeah, but he did get the Ducks to their first Stanley Cup Finals appearance.
Yeah, but he only won one with the Red Wings, so
yeah.
I mean, I get it. I get where he's coming from. I could see that, but I'm just.
Well, actually, come to think about it, was that Mike Babcock's first team?
I want to say yes.
So you know what? I think it should be considered that. Yeah, he'll be remembered for winning the Cup with the Red Wings, and he'll be remembered for his tenure as the Red Wings. But I don't think we should overlook his period with the Ducks.
No,
I think
absolutely
we should
not.
definitely acknowledge that. He did a lot of bold steps moving forward.
He did a lot of good things with the Ducks.
Yeah, and especially taking a franchise that had kind of been in mediocrity throughout the 90s and going into the early 2000s. He took a team and made them legitimate enough to get into the Stanley Cup Finals. So there you go.
No, I'm with you.
And David Ruska says, are you ready to watch the greatest Royal Rumble tomorrow morning? No, and the reason why is because I'll be working. But you know what? I'm going to be leaving early enough to where I can actually pick it up from the beginning and watch it in one day because it's going to be freaking 6 hours long. But anyway,
Jesus Christ.
it is going to be 6 hours long. Every title is on the line, by the way. Every single championship the WWE
Greatest
has to
Royal
offer.
Rumble, so they need 2 Royal Rumbles in a year now.
Yes, but correction, though. It's the greatest Royal Rumble ever, for emphasis.
Doubt it. No.
If they say so, I'll believe it when I see it.
All right, so with that being said, on to the NHL playoff picture, which is currently the San Jose Sharks and Las Vegas Golden Knights. And even though we were watching the game, but the stream of the game decided to freeze on us.
Yeah, we're frozen here.
We were betrayed by NBCSN, like no surprise. So I'm pretty sure, though, not much has changed. I'm pretty sure the Knights are still pretty much prison raping the San Jose Sharks currently.
Yeah, 5-0.
All right, yeah, so there we go. Not much has changed.
Another goal by Shea Theodore.
All right, well, there you go. Next up.
Why you got to tell me that?
Sorry. It was assisted by March Assault.
We had to give. Never mind. I'm not going to get into it.
No, feel free, please.
Nope,
Please.
nope.
Bitch about it.
Nope, because you know what? It doesn't make a fucking difference.
Oh, man. He really, really hates the Knights. Absolutely
It's not that I
them.
hate the Knights. It's I hate the fact that they have Shea Theodore.
By the way, in case no one knows, Shea Theodore was a former Anaheim Duck.
Fucking traded him to get rid of freaking Clayton Stoner.
Hey, he has an awesome last name, by the way.
But he hasn't played hockey for like 3 years.
This is true.
He's a stoner.
We'll take Clayton Stoner off your hands if you give us Shea Theodore a deal.
I'm pretty sure that's exactly how they worded
Every
it,
Ducks
too.
fan, when that deal was her, no! I did. I cried. I was inconsolable for 4 days.
Fetal position.
Yeah. Brian's just like there's sucking on his thumb. Just like,
It was terrible.
Can't be. What did you, what were you drinking? I'm pretty sure you were drinking some kind of
I was trying to
alcoholic
drink.
beverage.
No, I was drinking battery acid, but it didn't work.
Oh. Well, I mean,
I don't know.
next time, mix it with alcohol.
It's weird. I can
Perfect
fly now, though.
combination.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it has its payoff.
See, I've been wondering why you have a third eye. But you know what? It
Whoa.
finally makes sense now.
Yeah.
You're whispering.
All right. So
Wait a second.
I think you guys got me.
Uh-oh. Well,
All right.
the Patriots pick is in, which means the Philadelphia Eagles are now on the clock.
Okay. Well.
I thought they had 20. Oh, wait. You know what? They had 23 and 31, right?
Yep.
Oh. Good for
Okay.
Ryan Shazier.
All right. That's NFL. Let's get back to this. All right. So back to the playoff picture. So with the Golden Knights pretty much getting game 1 in hand, like I said before, I think the Sharks are kind of fucked. And the only reason I say that is unless they can put a dramatic turnaround in this series, the Knights are probably going to take care of them. And I will say this again. It is because their first rounds were completely different. The Las Vegas Golden Knights did sweep the Kings, but that was only by 1 goal in every single game.
And now they're dominating San Jose.
Yeah, and San Jose, who unfortunately for Brian dominated the Anaheim Ducks in the first round, they did not have a tough first round. Therefore, they are not ready to face the Golden Knights. The Knights are completely ready to face the San Jose Sharks. So needless to say, I will say, folks, one half of your Western Conference Finals will be the Las Vegas Golden Knights. Their Cinderella story will continue as this series moves forward.
I think that's something we've been saying since the playoffs started was we were predicting them to get to the Western Conference Finals.
That is true. Them getting out of the Western Conference Finals, that's a
lose
different
to
story.
the Jets.
Now
that's what I think, but that might-
series, I believe, is the only game tomorrow,
No.
and that will be interesting because actually, if I stand correct, Lane has been reported to be possibly missing Game 1.
That I
Really?
haven't heard.
I think
haven't heard that either.
I gotta look that up. I haven't heard any news
What's your
about him.
source on that?
NHL.com.
Same source that Dean had for Giroux.
So he had none.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Let's go down to the article here on this. As soon as it comes up.
Come on, stupid page
It's
load.
coming, it's coming. Hold on. By the way, Ty Domi is rooting for the Pittsburgh Penguins to win the Stanley Cup. I don't know why, but he is.
Alane absent as Jets hold final practice heading for Nashville. So yeah, that
wow.
there's a
Yeah.
lot of truth. There's some truth to that.
Yeah, so that do you see that playing a big factor into the Jets in Game 1 against Nashville?
It's gonna play some factor because he is their number one guy. He is their number one scorer, finishing third in the league, I believe, in goals, behind Evgeny Malkin and somebody else. I can't remember, but
Who?
who exactly? Patrick Laine.
Oh.
He's gonna be. Him being absent definitely hurts the
Yeah,
Jets,
yeah.
but
God damn it,
Oh,
Mike!
God.
Stop looking at the draft.
I can't
You're
help
doing
it
a fucking
because
show.
I know the Patriots are gonna take Lamar Jackson.
For
here.
fuck's
they
sake!
if they would have taken that, I think they would have taken him at 23, right?
Sony Michel, running back out of Georgia. Wow.
Sony Michel, that's a guy.
Yep. Okay. Lamar
does not sound
Jackson.
like
Actually,
a
I heard
name.
his name linked to the Eagles, but that's neither here nor there.
But that means Lamar Jackson is not being drafted in the first round.
Sony Michel. It's
Yeah.
a weird name.
No, he's a good running back.
Very weird
Yeah.
name.
Running back.
Really sounds like a
But-
female's name. But anyway, moving on.
But yeah, it could affect the Jets, but I don't think it will because they have so many other weapons throughout the lineup. that
and
it's
Hollaback's
not
been playing great. So
He
I
has
mean,
been.
it doesn't to me.
This Nashville-Winnipeg series is going to be phenomenal.
It is.
It is. It's probably going to be the most exciting semifinal matchup besides probably the Bruins and the Lightning.
Yeah. I think all these matchups, honestly, are.
They
are
have the
intriguing.
potential. The one that will probably disappoint us will probably be the Knights and the Sharks.
Yeah.
That will be the
Oh,
one
if
that'll
the
be.
games
If
keep
it
going
continues like this, it's going to be a fucking blowout.
But that's
Yeah.
the thing, though. I honestly can see it happening because, again, that first round's going to kill them. It is going to kill them.
Yeah.
You want someone to fight you in the first round. For perfect example, the Washington Capitals, they did not have a very good first round. They struggled in their first round. It came back to bite them in the ass when they faced Pittsburgh.
Can you explain to me how the Sharks are out shooting the Knights 24-15,
bad quality shots.
and they are losing 5-0?
Doesn't
They're
really
shooting
matter.
from everywhere.
At this point, they have to.
The Kings shot from everywhere too. Didn't matter. They always outshot the Knights, but the Knights still won every game.
That's
Didn't
insane.
fucking matter.
But yeah, jumping back to Nashville and Winnipeg, that's gonna be the series to watch at the playoffs. That's gonna be the series. Yeah, that's gonna be it. That's gonna make this series. This is gonna make the playoffs great.
It is. It definitely is.
There's
So-
always one series throughout the entire playoffs. I think this series might even be better than the Stanley Cup final this year.
Be interesting. It actually, let's see, because the Stanley Cup Finals for the last 2 years, I would say there's been a series better than it. I mean, for me, 2 years back, I would say the one that beat the Stanley Cup Finals was the Nashville versus San Jose series, because that series ended. I don't think it ended in OT, but it certainly had some big critical OT
Yeah.
games
Oh,
that
no
made
doubt.
that series fucking crazy. That was the moment you realized, oh, fuck, Nashville's actually got a really good team. Yeah, this is the first time you finally realized it because they almost beat San Jose. By just a sheer number margin, San Jose got lucky and won.
Yeah, that was the year San Jose went to the Stanley Cup final too,
Yeah.
right? That was the year you're talking about?
Yep, and
Okay.
that was probably the best series of that playoff, and out of all of the series that we saw that year. But with that being said, Tampa Bay versus Boston.
Oh, wow. Eagles just traded away their pick.
What do they get?
To Baltimore. I don't know the credentials of the trade yet, but the Eagles have just traded away their first round pick to Baltimore.
That was kind of a lot of people were predicting that.
Tommy was talking about it earlier, and expected them not to do it. But
I kind of expected him not to do it either. But it is what it is.
I mean, hey, if they're going to get an early or a mid, I guess with Baltimore they'd be a mid second round pick. If they're going to get that and maybe a third pick, why
unless
not?
they have a player coming in too.
I mean,
they do need a wide receiver, and right now Baltimore seems to be stacked on them.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Enough. I know.
I know. If it's
we
not
landed-
wrestling, we can't keep talking about it. I understand.
Hey, I stopped the wrestling talk.
Yeah, after a half hour of it, but that's
Shut
okay.
up. I stopped it on this show. Do not put that on me. Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. That is not fair. Anyway, with that being said,
Tampa Bay and Boston.
Tampa Bay and Boston. That's
Hell
the
of a
other
series.
That one's going to be freaking crazy. Probably going to be the Eastern Conference representative coming out of that series, most likely, because the way those two teams are playing, it's just a fucking nightmare to try and play them. Just ask Toronto and just ask New Jersey. You don't want to trade their spots for anything. Although Toronto did give Boston a run for their money, that may come back to haunt them because you know what I think what happened there? Boston blew their load in the first 3 games. And you know what happened? It fucked them, and it almost cost them the series because Toronto pulled themselves right back from the brink. They thought they had the series won. They had nothing won, and Toronto proved it to them.
Yeah, that's crazy.
If they pull that shit with Tampa, Tampa's got them dead to rights.
Oh, yeah.
They cannot pull that shit with Tampa.
I think this series is going to be 1-goal games every game. There's no doubt. This game, every game's going to go right down to the wire.
Yeah, I mean,
this is I think, beside from the Predators and Jets series, I think this is the next best series for sure.
I think, aside from Las Vegas and San Jose, all these series are going to go 6 or 7.
Yeah, probably.
Easy.
Now, it'd be kind of funny, though, if we look at a series where – what if the –
Lamar Jackson.
What if the –
To Baltimore?
Yep. Sorry.
Okay.
Can't help myself.
We're doing a hockey show and he's watching the goddamn NFL draft. The hell?
It's like it's the next best holiday besides the Super Bowl.
Apparently. See, because I'm a hockey guy, I don't understand this. Should just go to Canada. Jesus. Anyway. All right. So, no, they have a CFL draft there,
I was
too.
going to say, their football league's getting big up there.
Oh, God. Yeah, but
Take
they
it
only
away
have,
from it.
what? They only have, 6, 7 teams? They don't even have, nearly as many teams as the NFL does. Christ. Anyway.
No, not at all.
Could you imagine that if a Canadian team ever joined the NFL?
Oh, they get smashed.
Anyway. So, with that being said, that's your playoff picture. It's going to be an interesting one. Did we have any changes in picks?
No.
No. Nothing at all?
No, I'm still riding Boston and Winnipeg.
All right.
Yeah, I'm going Toronto, Winnipeg.
Yeah.
Or Tampa Bay, excuse me. Tampa Bay, Winnipeg.
Same color scheme. But anyway, Winnipeg and I believe I said Tampa for me. So, all right. Yeah, well, I think we might as well stick to it. Watch it be San Jose and fucking Washington. But anyway, so...
We'll see about that.
Final thoughts, gentlemen, before we send this one to last call.
Nope. Not at all.
I'm just hoping that these next series here in the semifinals are going to live up to the hype behind them.
Yeah, I mean, the first round was very predictable, which unfortunately kind of made it less exciting. Hopefully it's not as predictable as we would hope it won't be. I hope so, if that made sense. Anyway, Brian, any final thoughts from you?
It's going to be a long off season. I hope it's going to be an eventful off season. I hope we're going to have a lot to talk about moving forward for the Flyers, for the Ducks, for the Penguins. Hopefully the Penguins do not race a third cup.
Hopefully not.
I will
Thanks,
jump
guys.
off to Ben Franklin.
Thanks, guys. I'll be there to catch you at the bottom.
You probably will be too. You'll be like, hey! I'm like, no, move!
No.
Crunch. Me and you.
Right. You got your little
I
legs
think-
sticking out, just kind of
I-
waving in the air.
You know what? I'm going to go out the gentleman way. I'll take a cyanide capsule. Anyway.
Gentleman's death.
Yeah, gentleman's death. All right. So with that being said, my final thoughts are For everyone out there who is about ready to either fire hack or fucking go crazy with the refs, calm the fuck down. It was a series that we probably weren't going to win anyway, but we showed a lot of something at the very end.
Yep.
Lots of positives to pull out of that because this team could have just laid down and fucking died, and they didn't. They chose not to. Says a lot. So let the process continue and trust in it. Look at the Sixers. The Flyers are going to be that. Give it time. Be patient. With that, it is time for last call, and we will see you all next Thursday once again here on A2DRadio.com. And we hope you're all ready for some more playoff action. The only difference is, unlike this guy, me and Brian will really not have a personal investment in the playoffs. So it should be very, very interesting looking at it objectively next time around. This whole thing was brought to you by Scanzano Sports Center, and you can find them at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. And you can give them a call at 856-889-3434 or visit them on the web at www.scanzanosports.com. This was the Hockey Happy Hour here on A2DRadio.com. And we will see you all next week right here. Once again, same bat time, same bat channel. We'll see you all next week, everybody. Peace.
Deuce.